I mean, there are so many legal cases now against anything the government seem to try and do. Lawyers are having a field day.
I think it would be nice to have a government that proposed lawful policies, and then we wouldn't be in this situation. I think, obviously everyone has their own views on migration and on the situation with UK migration policy at the moment. But I think the one thing that we can all unify around is the fact that our government hasn't got a clue, isn't managing any of the practical problems in our asylum backlog, and is continuing to waste huge amounts of taxpayers' money on fantasy headline policies that bear no practical solutions to the situation in the UK at the moment.
But the argument might be, of course, that if they did manage to suddenly speed up the processing and whip through the 50,000 odd people waiting and suddenly found they were granting asylum to 75% of those, then more people would say, that's it, I'm definitely getting on a boat over the channel because I'm going to be successful. How do you manage both processing people, making sure you can tell who is valid and who isn't, while also really trying to create a deterrent, because this is a vile trade in human cargo?
You can't create a deterrent. Deterrents just don't work, and the government know that. When you think about it, if you put yourselves for one moment in their situation, bearing in mind that they've often had significant overland travel, they won't have just got on a small boat and crossed the channel. They may have got on a small boat around Libya, around Italy, Greece. So, we're talking about the last leg of a very long journey for some people. If you're prepared to do that, if you're prepared to put yourself or your family on a dinghy or craft, you won't be deterred by a slow asylum process or being placed on a barge or even being threatened with Rwanda. It won't work. All this government will do is deter people from presenting to authorities once they have crossed. That's all these policies will do. So what you're going to do is have a ballooning of people in the UK that's here unknown to authorities, that aren't regulated in their time in the UK, and that's really not in anyone's interest. That's not what anyone wants to see.
I mean, it's not the main problem here that you've got a mix of people, don't you, coming over on the boats? And I don't think we've ever really gotten very clear statistics on quite how many are genuine asylum seekers and those who are gaming the system. Certainly, latest statistics suggest the second largest cohort of people on boats are from Turkey. Turkey obviously took on a brunt of migrants and genuine refugees coming over from Syria, but that is nominally a safe country. Similarly, at one point, there was a huge cohort of people coming from the Punjab in India. We've seen a whole load of Albanians coming across, many of whom have criminal connections. It's just not the fact, is it, that everybody on those boats is a genuine asylum seeker? So how on earth does the government go through the process of deterring those who aren't, welcoming those who are, and being able to discern who fits into which category?
Isn't it madness that you and I are sitting here not being able to talk about this with any sense of exactly what the statistics and the facts tell us, because the Home Office just aren't making any asylum decisions? And that's the thing, Alex. I think, as I said at the start, parking all of our varying views on migration, I think it's entirely reasonable for us to expect our government to have a functioning system that makes decisions quickly, efficiently, right first-time decisions, that reduces the amount of legal challenges, that reduces the amount of time we've got people workless in our asylum system because they don't have the right to work, and just starts moving people through the system. To answer your question, I think around 2/3 to 3/4 of people that cross in small boats go on to receive refugee status. 100% of people that claim asylum are genuine asylum seekers. What I think you're referring to is, do they then go on to receive refugee status? Around 2/3 to 3/4. But as I said, that aside, just make the decisions. That's all people want. They just want an asylum decision. That shouldn't be a controversial or radical ask of government.
It certainly shouldn't take 2 years. I mean, staying in a hotel during that entire time, that is for sure. And yeah, can the government get anything done? Well, pigs might fly and HS2 might be built. I think we know the answer to that.